Fantastic. Fantastic to be here, everybody. Welcome to A Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. You know, put the coffee down. Don't want anybody to get burned. We've had some fun with Donald Trump over the years. We've laughed, we've cried. We've mostly cried. But every once in a while, you get a troubling reminder that he is the president. Like this weekend, when to fill Ruth Bader Ginsburg's seat on the Supreme Court, Trump nominated federal judge and in-house attorney at Westworld, Amy Coney Barrett. Senate Republicans celebrated by hawking fundraising T-shirts that say, Notorious ACB. RBG's not even in the ground yet, and you're stealing her nickname? That is the most ghoulish move since 1865 when Andrew Johnson called himself Honest Andy. I shall not perish from the earth. A lot of voters see this as just a naked power grab because according to a recent Washington Post, ABC News, Frosted Flakes poll, 57% of Americans say the Supreme Court pick should be left to the winner of the presidential election. The majority of Americans don't want Trump to fill RBG's seat right now. But if the majority of Americans got what they wanted, Hillary Clinton would be president, Jon Snow would be on the Iron Throne, and Malamars would be available year-round. Come on, Nabisco. Have you heard of refrigerated trucks? Seasonal cookie my ass. Fight it. Fight it. There's not a lot Democrats can do to stop Barrett from being confirmed, as Illinois Senator Dick Durbin exhaled this weekend.
We could slow it down, perhaps a matter of hours, maybe days at the most, but we can't stop the outcome.
Senator Durbin is right. Justice Barrett is inevitable, like death and Donald Trump not paying his taxes. Speaking of which, last night we learned the New York Times obtained Donald Trump's taxes for the last 20 years. We got the returns! And Trump is in some deep W-2 due. Now, New York Times wouldn't reveal their sources, but we do have this exclusive leaked footage of Times reporters obtaining Trump's returns. I'm not sure why it cuts back to Alfred Molina for so long there at the end. One, he's a fine actor, but I think we're done when he gets the taxes. Damn it. One of the big headlines is that in 2016, the year Trump won the presidency, Donald Trump paid $750 in federal income taxes. $750? Trump paid Stormy Daniels $130,000, and he screwed the country way more. And $750 is generous because it turns out Trump paid no income taxes at all in 10 of the previous 15 years, partly because of questionable so-called business expenses, including more than $70,000 paid to style his hair during The Apprentice. He spent $70,000 on that. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but he should have paid more. Trump found so many loopholes that in 2010, he claimed and received an income tax refund totaling $72.9 million. I assume when the government sends you a refund that big, the chairman of the Fed shows up with a giant novelty check. And you know, Trump's always talking about, oh, I can't show you the taxes because I'm under audit. Well, turns out that's because the IRS is not certain that Trump's refund was, the legal. He better win this audit because if he loses, turns out he would owe the IRS taxes and penalties that could exceed $100 million. Hey, Mexico, forget about that wall. Just pay for my tax bill because Uncle Sam's going to take my thumbs. He's going to take my thumbs. And there's a good old chance that good old fake billionaire President Trump wouldn't be able to pay that bill because it turns out the president's businesses have amassed chronic losses that he aggressively employs to avoid paying taxes. It's a classic producer situation, Trump trying to earn more money with a flop than with a hit. Also, there are Nazis. In fact, since 2000, Trump's beloved golf courses have been $315.6 million in the hole. Someone really needs to explain to him that in golf, you want a low score. In golf business, you really don't want to finish $315 million under par. Now, one of the few things that earned Trump any money was The Apprentice, which brought him a total of $427 million. So Trump made more money in reality TV than he did in reality. That explains his new series, So You Thought He Was a Millionaire. Now, some are saying his dire financial straits prove that he only ran for president to reanimate the marketability of his name. But it's a classic branding strategy.
Advertising is based on one thing:
destroying democracy.
In addition to Trump's business losses, he is personally responsible for loans and other debts totaling $421 million. To put that in layman's terms, I can't. It's $421 million. But I will say this. When I graduated from college, I owed my university $100 because I lost a library book and they wouldn't send me my diploma. I had to borrow it from my mom. $421 million. Normally, you don't find someone who owes that kind of cash in the Oval Office. You find them washed up on the banks of a river. And Trump only looks like he washed up on the banks of a river.
Gloat, gloat, slam.
So, somebody out there, and we don't know who, has got the leader of the free world by the short hairs. If he gets reelected, Air Force One's going to end up on Pawn Stars. Best I could do is $2,000. It's got all these hamburger stains inside. It's bad. It's very, very bad for a president to owe so much money. In fact, significant delinquent debt disqualifies most people from obtaining a government security clearance because it's a point of leverage for foreign adversaries. You can't trust anyone with that kind of conflict of interest. You wouldn't want to go in for a liver surgery and find out your doctor owes a bunch of money to Hannibal Lecter. Is the patient sedated? Great. Open the Chianti and start sauteing the fava beans. Now, of course, the president had a response to these allegations, and much like the finances themselves, it didn't exactly stand up to scrutiny. He tweeted, "The fake news media, just like election time 2016, is bringing up my taxes and all sorts of other nonsense with illegally obtained information and only bad intent." Wait, it can't be both made up and illegally obtained. That's like a husband saying, "I'm not sleeping with your sister. Also, walking in on us was a huge violation of our privacy." Come on. This weekend, Joe Biden picked up a key endorsement. Former professional wrestler and building that wished to be a real boy, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Johnson made this announcement in a video on Sunday morning.
Happy Sunday, everybody. We are approximately 5 weeks away from Election Day, arguably the most critical election our country has seen in decades.
Powerful words. I assume. I wasn't listening because I was too distracted by how absolutely meat-beefed he is. Good God, it's like someone stuffed a cashmere sweater full of bowling balls. Jeff Koons called. He wants his steel balloon animal back.
Pop Art Slam.
The Rock also posted a clip from a Zoom call he did with Biden and Kamala Harris where he had a question for him.
How will the both of you earn the respect of all the American people once you're in that White House?
By doing what we say we're going to do, by keeping our word. The American people are strong. They're tough.
Okay, but are you just saying that because you're looking at The Rock? They're strong, they're tough, they're bald, they're Jumanji, they're Fast and Furious, they're Hobbs, they're Shaw, they're ballers, Jack. Come on. Johnson also had kind words for Biden's running mate.
Kamala, I'm going to embarrass you just for a little bit because I'm going to talk a little bit about your amazing experience. And you have been an attorney, a district attorney, a state attorney, a U.S. senator, smart, tough. I've seen you in those hearings. And in my opinion, you are a certified badass.
Wow, that is high praise. The Rock certifying you a badass is like Trump certifying you as having a badass. Very dimply. Yeah, very, very, very dumpy. Nice pudding pants. You really could punish the porcelain with that terrible tush. Now, This endorsement could give Biden an edge in swing states like North Carolina, where the presidential race is tight, although not nearly as tight as the Rock sweater. I mean, come on, it's like a pile of cantaloupe squeezed into a onesie from the Baby Gap. It's too bad for Trump he didn't lock down the fast and furious vote, because according to a brand new Washington Post, ABC News, EL Fudge poll, nationally, Biden holds a commanding 10-point lead. But remember, that's with a margin of error of plus or minus 1 electoral college. And weirdly, men have not had much of a change of heart from 4 years ago, because Trump's lead among men is about the same as his margin over Hillary Clinton in 2016. Come on, my mans! You're clinging to Trump like a worn-out pair of briefs. Let him go. He's nothing but a loose waistband and skid marks. And he's making the women in your life lose sexual interest in you. Speaking of women losing interest, white women, a group that Trump won by 9 points back in 2016, now favor Biden by a 15-point margin. That's a 24-point swing. And the first time Trump has made that many women go away without having to pay them.
Stormy Slamules.
We got a great show for you tonight. Mariah Carey is here, but when we come back, I'll preview tomorrow's debate.